Next, we go into producer of the year. The Australian scene is continuing to diversify itself. It's continuing to push sound barriers and break that kind of stereotype among certain genres, you know? The more traditional sounds that you would hear from the UK or the US are now being slowly turned and is, you know, forming more of its own identity, you know? And I think a big part of that obviously has to be down to the producers. There are some producers that may be more technically skilled than others. Again, similar to director of the year. There's just certain shit, like if we was to go through everything that a producer did and try and compare it to each other, it would be near impossible. So this is me taking a look at a glance and just being like, yo, that song was a banger. Yo, that song slapped. Yo, how many people have they produced for? Look at the names on that list. This is probably my most ignorant list in terms of the one that I've done the least research into. I have messaged most of these producers and asked for them to give me more context on what they have done this year. Most responded and was able to help. I have gone through as much music as I can and found as much content that these guys have done, and even then I feel like there's some that we're missing out on, and then for me to go and listen to all of that would have taken a very, 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 very long time. So if you're a producer and you're a bit more knowledgeable in this field, feel free to comment down below your opinions, because I feel like it would be greatly appreciated. But this one, yeah, let's just go with it. Number 5 on the list is Nerve. Nerve produces for himself. He mixes and masters himself. He engineers himself, and it fucking works. You know what I mean? Like, everything. Oh man, tell me a Nerve beat this year that didn't sound different. Tell me a Nerve beat that sounded generic. Tell me a Nerve beat in 2020 that sounded plain. Nerve puts his personality into his production, sometimes even more than his actual lyrics and delivery. Like, even down to the social media shit, like, that ain't even full songs that he does. Like, follow Nerve on Instagram, yeah? And you'll just see him post random shit that he's producing that's just never released. And I swear it's harder than half of the shit I hear from the scene. So yeah, man, gotta give flowers to Nerve. Number 4 on the list is Open Till Late. Open Till Late has done some big ones this year. Producing on Curse's album, which was so early on in the year, I almost forgot about that. Producing some big hits for Brothers, was doing shit for Hefts, Day Ones, Young and Lips. Like, come on, look at that list. Are you mad? Open Till Late was on my list last year and deserves to be there again on this list this year. Like, Open Till Late, once again, round of a fucking applause. And you know what? Open Till Late doesn't just do one sound either. He's always mixing up and doing different shit, and that's what I like to see. Number 3 on my list is a name that I didn't actually know until doing my research for this video, I'll be honest with you. But then looking at what they've done, oh my god, we have to give him props. Khalid Roheim, Roheim. I'm gonna go with Khalid Roheim, that sounds right. I apologize if I've said your name wrong, but we'll call him Khalid. Khalid has produced a lot for 1-4, has done shit for Spanian as well, but has also produced for Kid Laroi. And I know Kid Laroi is not part of this list, but come on, we've got to at least acknowledge it. But let's say even just for 1-4 and Spanian. Spanian this year has, some people have said he simplified his sound, which may be the case. But Khaled's just complemented that so well, and it's just laid the foundations for Spanian to make music that just works for a bit of a wider audience, myself included within that. And then obviously producing shit for 1-4, which is just massive as always. Yeah, Khaled deserves to be in this list. And actually speaking to a couple people and reading a couple messages and comments, a lot of people behind the scene voted for Khaled. Which was quite interesting. So when I was making this list, he definitely had to get a nod for what he's done this year. And that is very similar to who I'm going with next. Number 2 on my list is Solo. But I kind of have to put an asterisk there because it's kind of Solo and Will. IAmChazza and Willstar. I have to put Will there as well because he's always credited alongside Solo. and sometimes when they're both labeled for being produced by or both labeled for mixing and mastering, I kind of have to include both in some ways. So this goes to Solo and Will. Solo and Will, what they have done with 1-4 alone this year is incredible. To be able to take verses that were spit over a phone from pen and then be able to engineer that into something that sounds studio quality on an EP, are you nuts? Let alone what they then produce. Oh my god. Have you heard the production on the Against All Odds EP? Listen, Solo and Will, I don't really need to go into detail in it, car. Just go listen to all Against All Odds. Just go and listen to that EP and then come back. Because on the live reaction, I had to question whether that was actually recorded from prison or not. When Lex, Selly, and YP did their interludes, I thought they recorded it before they went away. No, it was recorded over the phone. And then for them to be able to produce something and then put that, oh man, like they've literally used magic. They've done some juju shit. You know what I mean? Like man, it's different. It's different. And number 1 on my list goes to Culchi. Culchi feels like one in every 3 songs I react to, I feel like this man, his tag is at the start of the beat. Like Massey Rook, Blue Boy, Hefs. Shall I keep going? HP Boys, Cheeky. Shall I keep going? Mac 11, Sydney Young'uns. Shall I keep going? 046, and then more in the works. Like, this brother, I can't keep up with everything this brother has done. When we look at like everything from BHQ Records to what he's doing with the 6-7, like just, oh my god, just, oh man. And like I said, similar to Open Till Late, to be able to just diversify that sound and just do different shit as well. Like Solo and Will arguably go first because of what their talent physically holds. But Culchi's just, the work rate is unprecedented. And in my opinion, goes top of the list because of that. Now, I don't know if he just had a back catalogue of bare music and just reached out to everyone and people and he has some sort of special price or something. Maybe that's just the case, innit? But if so, he's executed it right this year. He's done everything right. And so Culchi, oh my god, yeah, you've smashed it this year. Smashed it. And so now let's have a look at your list. One that probably surprised me the most. No, it doesn't surprise me the most. And just for a bit of context, the votes on this list were fairly close for the most part. Very, very close for the most part. But yeah, number 5 on the list goes to Sammy Heat. Sammy Heat has done work with Pistol Pete, 046, Mac 11, Knox, Shelly 210, 21 District, Double 6, 96. Like, there's a lot of artists within there. And a lot of upcoming artists as well. So Sammy Heat deserves to be there. Again, if we're looking at someone who's put in a lot of work rate and has done that with a consistent quality to them, yeah, Sammy Heat deserves to be in that discussion. Loki is on this list too. Sometimes it will just say executive producer. But yeah, Young and Lips, J King, Pistol Pete, and Enzo. Like there's you know, Loki has also produced some banging shit with Young and Lips. Like Young and Lips has had a great year, no denying that. And Loki has been a big part of that production and being able to diversify Young and Lips' sound. I like that. Number 3 on the list is Solo. And even though you man don't count it, I'm counting Will as part of that as well. Solo and Will be in that. It's impossible to not put them in your top 3 in my opinion. 3rd is the lowest I would have them. I don't accept anything lower than 3rd. I just don't. Number 2 on the list is Open Till Late, who I think is ranked I'm not mad at him being number 2, because again, if we look at the quality of his production, Open Till Late, yeah, you know what? Nah, Open Till Late deserves to be there. Does he? It's making me reconsider now. Should he be above Khaled on my list? Maybe they're interchangeable at 3rd and 4th. We'll keep it as it is for now. But yeah, Open Till Late. Yeah, I'm actually happy with him being 2nd. And number 1, who I'm happy is there, but I don't know if he actually deserves to be number 1, and that's Nerve. I'm happy Nerve is, and I'm happy that Nerve's getting the recognition that he is getting. Because Nerve's production slaps. And I've given you all the positives a moment ago. But for him to be first, something doesn't feel right about that. Maybe it's because he doesn't produce for a whole bunch of different people. If this was talent, oh, Nerv's gonna be top 3. Don't get me wrong, for the fact that he can produce him. He's a better rapper than most, and then he's a better producer than most. Like, if we compare that together, yeah, then I'm not mad at him being in at number 1. But just as a sole producer, he's sick. But does he top some of these other ones? But I'm not mad at him. I'm so happy that he's first on your list, because I'm glad he's getting that recognition. I'm glad he's being acknowledged by people. But just something about first don't feel right either. But regardless, congrats, man, because in a lot of ways he deserves it. This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying about some of these things, yeah? It's like, you have a different list to me, but sometimes I don't want to be mad at it. I don't want to disagree, because if you're in this discussion, you're in this discussion for a reason, innit? Like, yeah, that's a tough one. But again, let me know who you would have in this list. Who missed out? Who was snubbed? Because this is another one similar to Director, where people were like, yo, how did this producer not make it? How did that producer not make it? And again, that might be my ignorance of not knowing what people have done this year. But yeah, let me know what you think down in the comment section below. Like, is there anyone who was just severely snubbed? Like, outright, it is criminal that they were not a part of the top 5, that they were not nominated. Is there somebody who I've missed out on due to my ignorance? Yeah, let me know if there's someone who comes to mind. And with that being said, these next 3 categories are going to be big.